TIAA is on a mission. Why? Because 54% of Black Americans don't have enough savings to retire. So in collaboration with big-name artists like Wyclef Jean, TIAA released Paper Right, new music inspiring a new financial future. With 100% of streaming sales going to a nonprofit that teaches students how to invest. Stream Paper Right now and help close the gap.
So what is meant by, education for all, and what is that term really about when you're thinking about autism and the revolution we've had with autism and education? Let's have a discussion. Guys, welcome back to the Ask Me World. My name is Dan and I have autism and ADHD, and I make weekly videos all about this. So if you want to come along this journey with me to help empower, educate, and really get autistic individuals up to the highest levels of their possible opportunities, then make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and also follow me on other social media platforms for more information on autism that I do daily. Okay, so, let's go back in time a little bit. When I was in high school, or when I was even in primary school or preschool for all of you guys, there was not much in terms of autism support. This meant that me and any other autistic individual were left out of most of the curriculum, which means there was nothing there to accommodate it. There was massive chunks of my education that were just missing because there was nobody there who knew how to deal with me, that didn't know my learning type. This is happening daily. I know, for instance, I was part of an ALN reform for schools here in the UK, and I published a video on Instagram asking people to sign a petition to get the government to actually act on this, and we're still having issues to this day on it, and it's 2023. But when you think about, the 1980s, 1990s, when I was really little in school, those things were kind of common practice where they didn't really know what to do with you, so they'd lump you into a category of being, the unit kids, and then we'd sit and just do nothing really. And that was really important for me, an important time for everybody to kind of really get to grips with a lot of skills and early intervention. This is why a lot of the time we look at autism diagnosis and say, hey, autism diagnosis should be implemented early as possible, because then we can have intervention early and help them achieve the best success as possible. I just want to interrupt this video, guys, to say thank you to today's video sponsor, Brilia. Now, Brilia is a homeopathic medication, which is pretty excellent for autism and ADHD. Now, I take this because it helps me with concentration and feeling less anxious, but it also works to help with restlessness, irritability, and impulsivity, and helps you increase clarity and concentration. Now, Brilia is a non-subscription based medication. It also comes for adults and children, so you can check that out as well. Now, it's super natural. There's no nasties in it, and there's nothing addictive in it, but I would say to recommend checking out with your doctor first before taking any medication, just to make sure it's cool with you. But you can get it right now at 15% off using the code ASPY15. The link is in my description here now, or in my bio if you want to go and try and find it, but it's Brilia, and the link for that will be down below. Okay guys, back to the video. But when you think about it on the bigger picture, you had people coming out of school, out schooling with no support and no help for special educational needs. Now, all that is changing. Over the past 15 years, we've seen a massive increase in the amount of funding that's going to be available in Wales, England, and across the world, really, for autism and education, because the stats are quite high. You have 1 in 100 people in the UK diagnosed with autism. We have 1 in 33 in the United States diagnosed with autism. So there's a lot of children going through a system that really needs to protect and serve for these kids. Now, there is an educational revolution going on here, or the Autism Revolution, where the education system is taking it seriously. They are training their staff appropriately, and they are able to have staff who can accommodate autistic individuals in mainstream schools. Because up until, I'd say, about 10 years ago, most, if not all, children with additional needs would have to go to an additional needs school, because that's where the specialists and the people who are trained in that would have resided. But unfortunately, when you have a growing population and a stagnant number of schools for special educational needs, then you have to branch out into your typical schools and your mainstream kind of education and seeing how can we educate the staff in these areas. Now, it has been a long hog, but they're actually getting there, and it's becoming so much more understood now in schools. And it's all the work all the advocates are doing, and all the people who are taking legal action through the government to make sure that this training is importantly implemented. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Now, there's so many things that you can do. Now, I would definitely check out your local educational board and see what facilities they have for autism, and if they have very little, you could always suggest them or get a group together and suggest them, because this is vitally important, especially if your child or you are going to attend a school or a governing body that is kind of lacking in the areas of support for autistic individuals. There is funding available from pretty much all governments, so make sure you attach a letter to that and try and find the funding source to reference when you're doing that. Now guys, if you have something to add to this video, pop it a comment down below. I love reading every single comment. Give this video a thumbs up and share it if you think this is valuable for somebody. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.